imagine you just got home from school or work and you're starving. It's too early for dinner, so you grab a bag of corn chips and start munching. As you reach into the bag to grab another chip, you notice something on the package label. New and improved, now made with genetically engineered corn. Your first thought is, wow, science is awesome. This corn must have more nutrients, or maybe it can be grown with less water, or something equally as cool, right? If only that was true. What if I told you that this corn was not engineered to taste better, or to give you more nutrients, or to be grown with less water, or to grow faster, but instead was engineered to have its own internal insecticide? You know, a chemical that would rupture the stomachs of bugs when they tried to eat the corn? Sound like a tasty after-school snack to you?
Think about that kind of communication, and think about the opportunity that will provide. It lays the predicate and the foundation for the development of a weather satellite that will permit man to determine the world's cloud layer and ultimately to control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world.
The United States began building its own mysterious array of antennas in February 1992. They are located in Gakona, Alaska. The project is called HARP.
HARP is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Project, originally a joint effort of the Air Force and Navy in cooperation with a number of academic institutions.
It uses unique patented ability to focus the energy coming out of the antenna field and injects that energy into a spot at the very top of the atmosphere in a region called the ionosphere.
Working in tandem, these transmitters could potentially alter the weather anywhere in the world, changing the jet stream's course entirely, triggering massive rainstorms or droughts. Even hurricane steering would be possible by heating up the atmosphere and building up high-pressure domes that could deflect or change the course of hurricanes. The U.S. government is firm in its position that HARP is just an atmospheric research facility. But is it more than coincidence that since going online, some experts have reported strange weather anomalies, including massive floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes?
In the 1940s, doctors at the U.S. Public Health Service, a part of the U.S. government, were interested in studying syphilis and penicillin. They had penicillin, they weren't quite sure how well it worked. It was in the early days of penicillin. So they went to Guatemala and they found some prostitutes with syphilis, and they arranged for the prostitutes to have sex with prisoners in jail and also with patients who were in a mental hospital, to infect those patients and then give them penicillin to see if it worked. Now, sometimes the patients didn't get sick, so what they did was and this is really horrible, they took their arms and their penises and would abrade them, would sort of rough them up and pour the bacteria onto that skin. And then when that didn't work, they would sometimes just inoculate into the spine. They would do a spinal puncture and give the syphilis that way. And then they would try the penicillin to see how it worked.
This is the U.S. government we're talking about.
Correct.
Human guinea pigs.
Human guinea pigs,
All right.
sponsored by the U.S. government. So here's the apology. We deeply regret that it happened, and we apologize to all the, to all the individuals who were affected by such abhorrent research practices.
a growing citizens movement demanding an explanation of chemtrails.
And I talked to my NSA buddies at Fort Carson, Peterson Air Force Base, and Buckley, where I was actually their doctor taking care of the pilots flying and spraying the chemtrails. So I know it's real. If anybody says it's not real, they're full of it.
It didn't start till about 1996. Exactly. And, growing up my whole life, a condensation trail disappeared, the 20 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. And now it can be in the summer at like 4,000 feet, and there's these big clouds behind jets. Some jets leave it behind, leave a trail behind them. Other jets at the same flight level, same altitude don't. And, instead of just getting into are they spraying us or what's changed the jet fuel or what's changed the atmosphere, there are tens of thousands of declassified admissions under different programs where different Pentagon programs, different agencies of the government have tested chemical, biological, and radiological agents on the American people.
The Global Terrorism Database reports that roughly 21,000 terrorist incidents occurred between 1993 and 2003. In the years following the invasion, that number more than doubled. So why are the numbers increasing?
Serious allegations are coming from the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan as he has accused the US-led coalition of supporting terrorist groups.
We also have a history of kind of moving in and out of Pakistan. I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago.
And just this week, Assange claimed that the CIA was responsible for paving the way for ISIS. He said U.S. support for terrorist jihadists started back in 1979 when the CIA, together with Saudi Arabia, spent billions of dollars arming the Mujahideen fighters to counter the Soviet Union's influence in Afghanistan. This support eventually led to the rise of the terror group Al-Qaeda. Assange says the rise of Al-Qaeda eventually bore the September 11th, 2001 attacks in the United States, enabling the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, and over a decade of war, leaving, and its end, the ideological, financial, and geographical basis for ISIS.
I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
right now, I'm kind of numb to it. Like, to be honest, I just don't really feel much. I pray for his family. I pray for his soul that, you know. Yeah. See, I try not to think about it. Because when you think about it, then I get like this. And it's not, you know, I don't. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, everyone deals with their own way. I try to hide it. I try not to think about it because I gotta stay 100%. You know, I gotta keep a good example in front of the other soldiers. I'm sorry.
They lived only to face a new nightmare, the war against the machines.